Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, your old mate, Jake, from It's Okay to Talk. Today's date is November the 22nd, 2023, and I have to make this video. I don't have to do fuck all. But I want to make this video, and the only reason why I ever make a video is because I want to. It's not because I have to. And I need to address a comment that came through on my last video, which was day 4 of this particular attempt at quitting alcohol. And the comment was very personal. It was an attack on me as a person. It was an attack on the decisions and choices that I make and have made. It was a comment that from the outside, you'd read it and you'd think this guy knows who I am. You'd think he's been in my life forever, with the kind of things and the kind of personal statements and opinions that he or she maybe possesses. And so, prior to continuing to tell this story that I am eventually going to tell through my vlogs, through my videos, and there's plenty of videos to come, don't you worry. Before I go and put my heart on my sleeve, time and time again, video after video, and try and tell this story, this journey that I've been on for the last 35 days, I need to make this video, and I need to not so much reply specifically back to this one person, but just give a little bit of context on, why I went to Thailand, for one, the situation I'm in right now, and some information on my past, my history, and how I came to, have 2 darling daughters, and whether I've got a wife and whether I'm single and all of that stuff. Now, I don't have to make this video, like I said, but I want to. And it's going to be my opportunity to explain some things. So, I met Miffy, the mother of my children, out drinking. Classic one-night stand. Came back to this very unit in what must have been 2017. Had sex, and, that was it. And then about 4 weeks later, she came around again, and we were lying in bed, and this is pretty personal, but I don't give a shit. It is what it is. We were lying in bed, and she told me she was pregnant 4 weeks after I'd met her. I didn't know her from a bar of soap. I spent that night discussing it with her, telling her my point of view. I was in shock, but I spent that night, voicing my opinions, and then she left. And the next day, it didn't take long at all. She told me in no uncertain terms, "I'm having the baby. It's going to be up to you whether you want to be in their lives or not." And I had to dwell on that, and I had to sit on that, and it took me another day to realize, no, I don't know you from a bar of soap, but what's done is done. I never knew where or when or how or if I would have children, but it looks like I'm going to have one, at least. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to step up. So I started hanging out with her a bit more, started to get to know her. When the pregnancy, got towards the 3rd trimester, I decided to try and organize a rental property, which we moved into. The baby was born. Tate was born in February of 2018. And, it's funny, leading up to the birth of Tate, everything was good. But bring a baby into the mix when you've got a relationship that's built on extremely rocky ground. It's pretty much built on nothing. Strangers, have sex, make a baby, and then try and make a relationship on top of that. Unfortunately, 3 or 4 months after Tate was born, the relationship broke down, and I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be in a relationship. Yes, I could be. Yes, I was a father, and I wanted to provide and do all I could for Tate. But as far as the relationship between the mother and father, as far as the as far as being in a relationship, a committed relationship, no, I decided not to. I decided to stick to my guns, stick to what I believed, and I split it up. And some may think that was the wrong thing to do, but you simply weren't in my position, so you wouldn't have a fucking clue about what was the right or wrong thing to do. I, as a man, as a person, will always trust my instinct, will always trust my gut, and will always make the right decision for me. And that was the right decision. So we split up, and basically for the next 2 years after that, things were really, really, really complicated and really, really difficult. And during those next 2 years, we ended up having sex again. And all it took was one time. She must be extremely fertile. She got pregnant again. A second baby was brought into the world. And you know what? I don't regret it. Because Tate and Tristan, being close together, being sisters, having each other, I think 2 kids will always be better than 1. And I think if you can have those 2 children with the same mum and dad, if you can manage that, whether you're in a relationship with them or not, I think it's worth it. And I've never ever regretted it. Yes, it made things even more complicated. Not double the complicated, fucking quadruple the complicated, but I still don't regret it. And so, once again, we were never together. We were never married. But we did produce 2 beautiful children. And that was in February of 2018, Tate was born, and then in July of 2019, Tristan was born. So 18 months apart. And, I admittedly was in and out of their lives. And I have been in and out of their lives pretty much their entire lives. But one thing that I have provided is a roof over their head. Now, I mentioned that Miffy and I met and we came back to this very unit. Well, never did I think that they would be living in here, but eventually in 2021, after Miffy and the 2 children moved away and went to Cairns for 3 months, I moved over there. I followed them over there. That didn't work out. They came back to Alice Springs. I came back to Alice Springs. Then she went to Rockhampton for 3 months. I moved over there. Tried it. It didn't work for either of us. She comes back to Alice Springs. And at this point, I kicked my tenant out and I said, right, if you're going to stay in Alice Springs, then you can at least live in this unit without the hassle of real estate agents, without having to pay bond. Kids being kids, they draw on the walls, they damage the place. Who gives a shit? I'm willing to, allow you guys, whether I'm living in Alice Springs, whether I'm in their lives or not, live in this place, have a solid place, a solid home, somewhere to call home, a roof over your head. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be drastically reduced rent, of course. And since about May of 2021, so 2.5 years ago, that's exactly the situation that it's been. And I have been back and forth from Australia to New Zealand, but every single time I come back here, I live in this unit with them as a dad, playing the father role. And, Miffy and I, during the times that I am here, we have to put our differences aside. There are times where we don't speak. The only person I speak to, the only people I speak to in the house, there have been times, the only people I speak to in the house is the kids. Me and her just don't speak. And the only way that I got through this, the only way that I thought that I could get through it with a smile on my face, obviously, you know, faking for the most part, but with a smile on my face, present enough with the kids, willing to, you know, do activities and play around and laugh and joke and be the father that I always wanted to be. The only way that I believed I could do that, the only way that I believed I could be the fun dad, the only way that I believed I could deal with living in a place where I had no adult conversation was to drink and smoke. And it worked for a while, but it was never gonna work long term. And so I got to the point at the beginning of this year where I began my first video. I started my first video. I published my first video, began my first video series on this channel, because it had got to the point where I realized, okay, it doesn't matter whether I'm living here or not. I need to stop drinking because, and you know, my kids and the inconsistencies that I was obviously bringing into their lives just didn't sit right with me anymore. And look, when they were younger, I honestly felt as if I could get away with it. I felt like, okay, they're probably not going to remember this. They're certainly not going to remember me like drinking, that type of thing. And, you know, when they started going to school and when they started growing up and developing their personalities, and I just looked at them and I just felt, you know, obviously my self-esteem was down. I felt like a shell of myself, physically and mentally just broken, just trying to be a dad, trying to fulfill that father role. And I was doing my best. I wasn't perfect, but who is perfect? You know, going back to the original reason why I made this video, this guy's talking to me about who I am and what I'm about and what I should be doing and what, you know, mistakes I've made. And at the end of the day, all I want to say back to this person is, so you're telling me you've never made a mistake? The difference between me and you is that I make mistakes and I admit it and I'm accountable for it and I try and work on it. And I may fail time and time again, but I'm never going to give up. And that's the only reason why I'm here, is because I refuse to give up. Because, hey man, look, at the end of the day, I think I've said enough, but there were times where I could have given up. And you know exactly what I mean by give up. Remove myself. Remove myself. I'm a burden. I'm a burden on everybody. That's what I believed. I have no personality. No one wants to talk to me. Why would they? I'm a loser. Let's remove myself from the equation. But you know what? I had a smither of hope. And I knew that I was better than this. And I knew that I could be a good dad. And I knew that I was worthy of love. And I knew that I could give love. I just didn't know exactly how. But I never gave up. And that's the only reason why I'm still here. As of today, I'm 35 days sober from alcohol. Over a month sober from social media and pornography. I'm almost 3 weeks sober from weed. I'm getting my body back. This person commented that fitness is the only thing that matters in my life. What fucking fitness? I let it all go. Talk to me in 2017 before any of this shit happened. Yeah, I was obsessed with fitness. Yeah, I went to the gym every fucking day. I lived it, breathed it. And for the last 6 years, I let it go. I've been inconsistent as fuck. The only thing that actually brings me back after, you know, a period of months where I've just lost everything. The only thing that brings me back to earth, the only thing that, sometimes the only thing I can grasp, the only positive thing I can grasp in my life is fitness. So for you to try and give me shit about, you know, including fitness in my life is just wrong. And I just want to say, you know, like I said in the comment, I replied to the comment and I said, you're well, you know, thank you for the comment. Thank you. You are well within your right to have your opinions. And that's okay. But I knew that I needed to make this video because I needed to put a few things straight, and I needed to just insert this video into my video library prior to telling the rest of the last, the rest of the story over the last 31 days, because it's been a story, and it's been difficult at times, and I've talked about some really, really personal things, and there's been videos that I've made that I've thought twice about putting out, and there's a reason why I didn't start putting these videos out until 4 days ago, because I needed to get to this point where I'm feeling genuinely happy and genuinely confident in myself, and as a man, and as an employee, as a father. I have slowly but surely built my self-confidence back, and I am buzzing. I'm flying. I'm back. I'm fucking back. So by all means, tune in, watch the videos over the next however many days, and I hope you can get something positive from them. I hate to be a spoiler, I hate to spoil the end, but as of day 35, I am sober from alcohol, and there'll be plenty more videos to come. So to all of you people out there who've supported me, who have told me things like stay strong and you can do this, absolutely incredible. I'm not going to say that was the reason why I turned all this around. I feel like everything is a choice. We've got choices, and we can either make the right choice or the wrong one, but at the end of the day, it is a choice. I was never forced. I was never forced to go to that bottle store and get my next drink. I wanted to. And as of today, the only thing I want is to live a sober, healthy life, get back in shape, be a consistent and present father in my kids' lives, keep making their lunches every morning, keep giving them hugs every morning, keep asking them questions about their day in the evening, keep making sure they brush their teeth, keep trying as best I can to make sure that they eat some healthy food as well as their shitty snacks. And one of the coolest things I'm about to do is send some of their school photos back to my mum, my dad, and my sister as part of their Christmas presents. So I cut them out today, and I'm going to send them back, and they're so just incredibly cute. Tristan's 4, she's at preschool. Tate's 5, she is at primary school. And they are just the apples of my eye, if that makes sense. But in saying that, they've got attitudes, but that's kids for you. And the last thing I will say, if you've made it to the end of this video, and this will be the final thing that I address from the comment that I received earlier today, people talk about my wife. Well, you can get that out of your brain. I'm not married. I'm officially single, and I have been for many years. I've been single since the moment that I realized I didn't want to be in a relationship, which was 3 months after Tate was born. But either way, the last thing I do want to say is I want to give a huge amount of praise, huge amount of gratitude and thanks to Miffy for holding the fort, for holding it down whilst I wasn't able to be here. Because if it wasn't for her, then I don't know what would have happened. And yeah, she deserves the world, I'm not rich by any means, but if I was, I'd buy her a house, I'd buy her a car, I'd buy her everything. But I'm not. And so I've provided what I can, and I've tried to show my gratitude to her over time, but at the end of the day, she is still salty, about everything, and that is to be expected, and you can only do what you can do. And I like to move forward. I don't like to look back. And there's a lot of water that needs to be there's a lot of water under the bridge, in my opinion, or at least in my mind. I don't like to, like I said, look back. I want to look into the future, especially the way that I'm feeling now. But man, she deserves everything, and whether the kids will know exactly how the first 5 years of their lives were, or whether they'll know exactly what the relationship between their mother and father was or is, I don't know. Speaking for myself, really only at the age of, 23, 24, 25, that's when I started inquiring genuinely to my parents about their story and about how they met. And they split up when I was 8 and my sister was 5, and it was at that time when I was about 23, like I said, that I'd had a few relationships myself, and I started feeling like I was mature enough to start asking them about their history and about how they came to be. And it's interesting. And, if Tate and Tristan, when they're 22, 23, come to me and want to know about exactly what happened and exactly how their mum and I met, and why they were born in Alice Springs, and, how they came to be in this unit, in this apartment, and why did you always travel back to New Zealand? And, I'll try and put together a concise story. I'll try and put together some facts for them, and I'll always tell the truth. That's the one thing that you'll get from me on this channel, is complete honesty, because the truth will set you free. It's the only way. To lie and to fake things just seems like way too much effort. It's not worth it by any means. So that's about enough for today. I'm pretty much done here. And I wish you all a fantastic day, especially that person who commented. Have a great day. But just know that, you up there on your high horse, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but everyone's human and everyone makes mistakes. It's just I am broadcasting mine on YouTube for everyone to watch and for everyone to judge and see. And in this case, obviously leave their opinions on. And that's okay. And I wouldn't expect anything else. But I love my kids. And I am a present father. And I do provide for them. And I try and show them at least the love through verbal and physical means that I never received as a kid. I'm trying to break the chain, break the cycle, and make it normal to cuddle your kids and kiss them and tell them you love them and show them affection. Because I tell you right now, I never got any of that. And that's another thing that I inquired about with my own parents, especially my dad. You know, when I felt that I was mature enough to start asking him about his relationship with my mother, I then started asking him about his relationship with his parents and his dad. And one thing that I came to know is that his dad never told him he loved him. You know, his dad never gave him a hug. And I guess that mentality was passed down to me. But I'm my own man. And I respect my dad, and he's taught me a hell of a lot. But I'm my own person, I'm my own man. I trust my instinct, I trust my gut, and I think I've said enough. Bye, guys.